everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. As we head towards kickoff, two quarterbacks will be on the field today trying to push their team to victory. It's Flacco's Ravens going up against Wilson's Seahawks. So let's get you up to CenturyLink Field in Seattle. On the call, here are Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Thank you very much, Larry. We are here on a beautiful afternoon for football. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Baltimore Ravens and the Seattle Seahawks. Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And off we go from Seattle. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And his first pass is incomplete. And this offense often hinges on one of the best tight ends in the league, and that's Jimmy Graham.
I think he made up for lost time when he got to the NFL because in college, he was mainly a basketball player, a defender who couldn't score. Now he's flipped it around in the NFL. Every time he touches the ball, he's a threat to score.
And the D looking like they may blitz. Second and 10 now, Wilson. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. It'll go as a loss of 3 on the sack, and it brings up third down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And they've got an extra defensive back out there now on 3rd and 13. Wilson looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
This will be caught at about the 3. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Mike Wallace, 28 yards. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Tyler Lockett now with the return. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
This is Rawls across the 30 to the 31-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be second down. And here are the Raven defensive starters.
C.J. Mosley's your prototypical Alabama linebacker. They'll come downhill and smack you, but they understand the game so well.
On second down, here's Wilson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. And now here come the Ravens. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They've got to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
This offense can be flashy at times, and a big reason for that is Perriman.
I like the way you use the word big because that's exactly what Brashad Perriman is. A big receiver with a ton of speed. Runs so well, yet that strength downfield really confounds defensive backs. Is it okay if I tell you I played against his dad in college?
No, I'm just impressed that you worked confounds into the broadcast.
I'm impressed I'm still alive because I played against his dad in college.
A gain of 3, second down. And a look at Seattle's defense.
Michael Bennett's one of the best pass-rushing defensive linemen in the game. Normally plays defensive end, but when they go to those nickel packages and he works inside, look out, offensive guards. You got a problem.
Here's Flacco. His pass caught at the 4. And he's brought down. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back.
And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Kenneth Dixon taking it in. And the Ravens will extend their lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Rawls got a big ovation from the Seattle crowd. First game since week 2 for him when he played against Philadelphia, 57 yards on the ground.
Well, you remember what we did last season, filling in and becoming the #1 running back before breaking an ankle later in the year at Baltimore. At the time, because Christine Michael no longer with the team. C.J. Prosise, who was expected to fill that role as well, he got hurt in this past game. So they need every bit of Thomas Rawls going forward.
Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to make it 4th down. So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down. And this is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive.
All right, I'm doing my rudimentary math here. That's his 3rd catch here in the first quarter. I don't know if it's just game plan or he's just finding his way open.
And maybe a little of both. On the draw, Flacco to Dixon. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
On 2nd down, Flacco to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
2nd quarter now. Brandon Gaunt and Charles Davis with you. It's the Ravens who have the football, and we'll see what the decision is here as they've got a 4th and 1 coming up. And no signs of the field goal unit. They're going for it on 4th down. They'll run it here with Dixon. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10.
I tell you, on that first glance, I thought he got it easily. But the mark was not a real favorable one. As it turns out, they do give him the first down, but that was very close to going the other way.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. They give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal.
And a nice job defensively to keep him out of the end zone. He was trying to get his 2nd touchdown already in the first half.
They had that one earlier, was bidding for a 2nd. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. And back at the 8 now, 3rd and goal.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big chunk of yardage lost. So on 4th down, Flacco off to the sidelines. He gives way to Justin Tucker. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Tucker's kick right there, it's good. And that will swell the lead to 16. So the drive takes him inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Now it's Wilson. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
Now that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. They run with a power back. Rawls. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
There's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than so far.
And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on 4th down. They'll indeed go for it with Wilson. And able to find Graham, complete. It'll be a gain of 9, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
First down, this is Rawls. And an alley to run. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Give them 11 on the gain there. And the Seahawks are going to have a first down. Time to step aside. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Back to the ground on 1st. Again, it's Rawls. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
No gain on that run. And while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. From midfield now, here's Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Gerard Powers. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. And the Ravens Dolphins taking the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
On first down, Flacco. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his crew will take over with the football at the 35-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
After the interception, here's Wilson. He's going to float this one deep right side. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the longtime Charger, Eric Weddle. And this one will be brought back to the 22. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
Flacco here on second down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. It'll be a gain of 4. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Under pressure, and Flacco's going to be dropped. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Now it's Lockett. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it to Jermaine Kearse. And it's 2nd down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or 2 in and bats it away.
2nd and 10 now, Wilson. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
So many components go into a well-executed screen pass. You've got to sell, sell, sell. Offensive line's got to sell like they've missed blocks, and then they move out, and they're out in front of the running back. He's got to sell that he's trying to block, and then he slips out into the route. The quarterback has to sell that maybe he's trying to throw it downfield. Instead, he slips it off to the running back, and when you get one set perfectly, you have to catch the ball. And that didn't happen on that play.
Now Wilson. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down. So on 4th down, here's the Canadian-born punter John Ryan to kick it away for Seattle. Back deep is Devin Hester. This is taken at the 18. 44-yard punt, return of 9. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us.
This is caught inside the 15. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Brashad Perriman, 72 yards. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They juked him. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you up.
And now here is another interception. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. Operating off play action. Flacco. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Shedd. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. One receiver left, 2 to the right. Trying to shake off the interception from the left. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. On second down, Wilson. They set up the screen to Rawls. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Give him 2 yards on that play. And it's going to be third down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. So still in search of the first down after that last completion. And they'll add a DB in the secondary here on 3rd and 14. 3rd and long. It's Wilson. It's caught outright by Graham. Call it a gain of 13 yards on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Here we go with Rawls. Thomas Rawls unable to push his way forward for the first. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. Even though they didn't get it, probably the right call. Too long for a field goal and just not a whole lot to gain from a punt there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have really netted very much yardage if you pumped the ball, right? And the thing about a field goal, and you know this from so much experience, the longer the field goal, the lower it comes out off the kick, right? Which means it's got a better chance of being blocked. So you're taking a chance either way. I like the fact they went for it.
1st and 10 here for Flacco. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they're able to get this one down to the 25. Give them 22 on that one. And it's good enough for a Baltimore first down. Throwing here on first down. Flacco. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback right in the face of him puts him down.
Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he doesn't quite make it. They do stop him, but he gets it all the way down to the 1.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top. And that loss of yards there is not just on him. It's on the guys blocking for him. I mean, they're supposed to create some type of space or at least get a stalemate. They end up letting them.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Kenneth Dixon, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Ravens add on. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of it. And my goodness, another interception.